I kind of like how each thing is a different setup. I don't know what you'd diagnose me with, if you will. There might be a lot of that today, by the way. But yeah, welcome back to Conversations. Yeah, I, had a really great trip to Japan. And initially I thought this episode would be about that and would be about my experience and how much I loved it and how cute everything was and And that's not the case. I was making my din-dins last night and I came across this podcast, or newscast if you will. It was just published on YouTube. And it was talking about how like Gen Z are unemployed, and I guess I technically come under that bracket, like I'm self-employed, but where the jobs at though? Where the jobs at though? Goddamn. And I then think, like it's so hard to know you got a job even when you got a job. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't even be hollering at you. So yeah, let's get into it. I wrote about this. So this episode is called "Why are Gen Z UK Unemployed?" or "Why UK Gen Z are Unemployed" by Nesta. Got a whole lot of money, it's beer. I kind of forgot how this felt because it's been a while since I've thought about it, and it's like quite an insane concept in it, like making YouTube videos, because I am just in my room in my grandparents' house, which I guess will just emphasise what I'm going to be talking about. And yeah, and it's just you and me, and I keep looking over there because the lighting, and also like I don't usually always have my hair in a fro, and it's in that awkward growing phase. So yeah, I'm feeling it. And as you can see, I've got all these, I guess, my MacBook has been naked. It's because I ordered the wrong size quite a while ago, and I just, was lazy and didn't get the right one. So now I've got all of like my precious stickers on. I don't know how much you can see it, but I got some from B-Side Label in Harajuku, and I love that place. And the workers were so cute, so kind, and I just can't wait to go back. So let's get into it. Why are UK Gen Z unemployed? My name is Ness. I am 23 years old and this is a different conversations. But I want to address the UK's faulty nature and lack of a true accountability when it comes to the unemployment of the age bracket 16 to 24-year-olds. And let's not forget our older Gen Zs, as I personally know those 24 years old and above who struggle too, in spite of their higher education experience, and like what I believe a lot of people have is persistence and dedication to find work. Now I understand there will be arguments of laziness, false claims of mental health, or back in my day we'd just get on with it, wouldn't we? It doesn't matter if the factory or if it was down the butcher's, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm having a job and it don't matter. It's going to be a lot of that, but this is an issue. The more we concentrate on the negative or the surface level definition of the state of the UK, the more we neglect the root of the issue. As I will controversially say, this is the exact same way the NHS is set up, is to put a band-aid solution on everything, or only act on things when things become life-threatening or super bad, or realise too late. I believe to be reflective of where UK systems fail, instead of addressing the root or taking preventative measures, we scurry around the outcome. We do not have enough money though, Ness. What weeps? Oh no, we haven't got any money. There's no money, isn't it? We're all broke. We're all bloody broke. But there is always money to rename the overground lines in London, to refurb the Big Ben that is in London, the celebration of death or introduction in the monarchy, which happens to also be in London. Now I highlight this as 1. This country is apparently so broke it has enough. It's so broke that it has to tax people even more, even considering taxing pensioners more, and heck, even taxing electric car drivers in 2028 to help the petrol market. Though electric cars over the past decade have been fed down everyone's throat as a way to be environmentally friendly. Like, I may be missing something, but really, please feel free in the comments to correct my arrogance, but I'm just not understanding this. Then 2, and this leads me on to where I get into a bit about me. Money in that level of abundance is always promoted to be funneled into the south of England, grammar, and particularly London, for the sake of what? Tourism or aesthetics? Overall, just more surface level BS. I've wrote BS a lot in this, or I've written BS in a lot of this. So, yeah, BS. I am from Birmingham, which gets a bad reputation. Yeah, okay, cool. A bad reputation unnecessarily. Once upon a time, the group that caused us to get a reputation was wrongly called BAME, Black, Asian, and Minority Ethnic. Or Ethic? Epic. I've written epic, but it's got to be ethnic, isn't it? That, at least in my experience growing up, we took up the majority of poverty. Again, not to say, especially in northern parts in the UK, like Liverpool, Blackburn, Blackpool, Manchester, and many more, ultimately with the UK, the largest divider we all experience is class, and things like racism, sexism, homophobia come ancillary to that, where arrogance and anger gets the best of people and their suffering can translate to other things too. The likes of Parsaloo, Bugsy Malone, Potter Piper, JK, and more speak well into this. Essentially, what I am trying to say, everyone suffers, and I want everyone while watching this to not see my suffering as an absence of their own. Typing this, I could feel a tangent coming up on about violence, youths, etc. Though I will touch on this. This is not what this is about. And there are more credible sources. I thought while typing that, if the UK, like to many governments, worked with their artists like those I have named, or the likes of Little Sims too, as these are people who have came up despite their struggle, rehabilitation, and are successful witnesses and victims to these experiences, rather than having a parliament of ill-informed individuals with silver spoons up their bum. Unfortunately, how parliament looks is not representative of its people, as I will touch on now. LOL. So, I grew up in Birmingham. Mixed race, technically second generation Jamaican, but was adopted by my sister and her partner at the time. Now, why am I listing you some identity politics? As even before. Is that a tea break? Yes. I'm gonna miss this Japanese 7-Eleven tea, y'all. When I promote things or say I like things, it goes straight into that American accent, y'all. Because I love saying y'all. Because, yeah, this is really good. Like, the fact that a green tea standard like this. You don't want to get asked to 30-40p green tea when you know what this exists, so. ASMR, hitting again. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, question marks everywhere. Edit it in question marks. What the fuck. Yeah. Listening to identity politics, as even before I say anything, as I came into life in 2002, the UK was not equipped for me, alike to many people. We are so diverse and even have paintings of different races and women on TFL and walls. Ooh, giddy, giddy, giddy. We're so yeah, we accept everyone. But the reality is, I have never felt like I belonged here. I have never felt at home, and I've never felt accepted to this day. 43 to 46% of Gen Z experience family breakdown by their mid-teens. Around 46% of firstborn children in the UK were not living with both natural parents by the age of 14. A similar study found that for children born around 2001 to 2002, this figure was 43% by age 16 to 17. About 23% of all UK families are headed by a single parent. In broken homes come broken children. In homes that are unloved comes unmotivated children. In a world that doesn't understand you because you are new, you become confused. From both black and white communities, growing up, people did not know whether or not to treat me as an artifact in a museum, like a threat, or too black or too white. What I would always envy about my white friends is how I would consistently see them be treated as attractive, desirable, not bullied, not all, but most lived under nuclear families, celebrated in school and favoured, along with the broken home and bullying, not only from students but from teachers too. Like, for example, when I told a teacher about my bullying, a dark-skinned black woman, she laughed in my face when I would come to her crying. She would just put me into a room and whack on like a BBC documentary about being black and British, and like would take me out of class for that. Anywho, what was the other one? And then, yeah, what happened a lot was, and it happened into university too, that I mentioned here, is this whole thing of like, you are doing absolutely amazing. You're on track for a 9, A+, 2-1, a first. And then you submit these assignments, or it comes to parents even, and they're saying a completely different thing. Like, where in the hell is this subconscious freaking behaviour coming from? because I know it's not normal. Because whenever I've repeated my school experiences to other people clock on a lot. Yeah, that's not right, mate. And I guess it goes back to the whole thing I'm not fitting in. But anyway, we write this down so we don't lose goddamn track. So let's get where we got. Okay, so from home to school, as the more psychology becomes popular, we are aware a child needs love, a child needs motivation, needs validation, and needs hope. The angel can come in disguise, and for me, that was social media, video games, and anime, plus whatever compliments I would receive, I would hold on to dear life with. So, what is the point in what I'm saying? The UK's emotionally suppressive and passive nature was not ready for a generation of children of complete diversity and nuance that requires emotional intelligence. So, what do people do when they do not understand something? Do they A. try their hardest? Do they try their hardest to understand and adapt to those who are new, or heck, realise their ways are outdated and never worked? Brackets like hitting people with a ruler. Really, I recall in year 3 a teacher telling me that he would hit me with a ruler if he could, and I remember he banged that right on the table in front of me. Big up Mr. Morrison. That's the biggest bite out of 2025 going into 2026. It's been your host, Nesta. Refreshing. So, hit with a ruler, yep. Or B, ignore it, sweep it under a carpet, act really shocked when gang violence increases, drug consumption increases, brain drain increases, and you know just how mad everything is at the moment. Well, the answer's B. The answer's B. Every single time, it's like, why are we going to have to confront ourselves a little bit in having to understand something that's new or different to us in order to better society, when we could actually ignore it, make a lot of people from different backgrounds feel really isolated, feel really alienated, so we can get on with it and we can make our money. So, how can you expect this public educational system to produce motivated adults that want to work? For me, with some hope and research from the internet, not wanting to be like addicts in the family, and in all honesty, I can just pin that down to God. Amen. Amen. I didn't give up. I tried my hardest in college, but what happened? Boom, lockdown. That I can appreciate had to happen. However, we must acknowledge not only socially inept the early adolescents became, but how this caused large pessimism amongst those in their late teens and probably their early 20s. Just anyone young, I think, really suffered in that sense of pessimism. I want to whack that in there as that comes up. So, and then think about this for abusive households. We know the statistics, but then really think about what that does to an individual. I know it made me want to escape. I got the grades I needed to, in spite of the fact being in the house was so much, and the type of home it caused dissociation, and in this massive crowd. I think I always had it a little bit, but I don't really think I started to really escape that until like 21, late 21, early 22. I get into MMU. I go to study journalism with all the bloody hope in my heart. Pardon me. It was BS. Yet this perseverance was in me, even though when I went to go and speak to the therapist and I told them what was it, and they were just like, God, your life is awful. And I said that dead ass to my face, and I went, oh, maybe, just maybe, I should give up, because that's what that felt like. Anyway, so yeah, perseverance. Yeah, perseverance. I didn't want to come back home, and in all honesty, it's not an option for me. I was one of the 3 or 4 ethnic students out of my class. I was maybe 30 odd, and then I think in total there was like 60 odd. And oh my god, I keep losing it. It's really bad, isn't it? And I very much was reminded that I was a minority. The microaggression was ridiculous, whether or not it was telling me that I was trying to be special with my ideas, picking on me, like kicking me out of class for talking. When I would quickly ask someone if I was on the right slide, they would cancel classes or this is me saying separate to the microaggressive behaviour. They would cancel classes or move them online consistently with the reasoning of COVID, even though it wasn't bloody COVID anymore, was it, babes? You just couldn't be asked to get up, get in your Clio, and go to campus, could ya? That was the reality of it. On the morning, I'm so sorry, guys, but we've got to cancel today. I've had a ridiculous case of COVID. Sorry, guys, I've got to cancel today because I'm scared of getting COVID. Sorry, guys, we must remind ourselves that lockdown was only a year ago or several months ago, however long ago it was. I feel like it would be safe to remain home. Okay. So yeah, consistently reasoning of COVID, many a thing happened and I confronted the higher ups at MU on a few occasions and I got ignored every single time. I went to UA out, that was just a bad university experience. Let's change city and life and see what happens. Same BS. Except this was exacerbated by identity politics and the fear of not being politically correct. I was silenced constantly, at both unis in fact, like school would be fed I am doing brilliantly and the school would come through poorly. I complained about how unhappy I was with a class as I found it disengaging, lacking substance. The issue with most universities is just a lecturer reading off a PowerPoint, and because I included capital letters and criticism in this email, I got told off and I was told that I made a professor cry, and then I was like kind of like sat down and was like, you're bad, that was naughty, you don't talk to people like that, what you don't. So I wasn't even planning on telling the story, but we're here now. I'm sitting in a class, and I actually really like this professor. We really bonded, and to a degree, I resonate with the apology, but I feel like I should have really stuck to my guns and have not apologised, because I do truly believe I didn't do anything wrong. I think I was just very upset, and I really just said it how it was at the time, because at the end of the day, love, my 10k goes in yours lot pocket. I may as well be getting the best experience, and I'm coming in, and we're talking about Harry Pinero and Young Philly. Obviously, Young Philly wasn't doing a Diddy thing back then, but we all know now, obviously. But obviously the Diddy thing was satirical. It was exaggerated. Just for those who are gonna be like, yo, like, I know my man did wrong, innit? But like, it weren't anywhere near that. So anyway, yeah. And I was just there like, we're breaking down these men sitting on a podcast talking about what gal they want to be as in sex. And I'm meant to just sit there and be like, this is real journalism, guys. Just because it's got a bit of clout and they just chat doo-doo, this real journalism. No, man, I'm not having it, man. It's mad. I've just moved all this way, and I'm making an effort. I'm working hard, and I'm getting clips of Young Philly. And what was it? Yeah, they were talking about Morley's, like the chicken shop in London, and I was just there like, of course I'm gonna want to come into class. Yeah, so yeah. PowerPoint. And I apologise, like I said earlier, I said all of that. My experience would be demoted because I was the only one with a problem, instead of being open to understanding my truth, and that's another issue that I know I am sick of here, complacency and enabling that bleeds into more than just higher education or lower. It's bloody everywhere here. It's just like, again, with the whole avoidance thing that I was saying before, but I'm getting all this track, guys, I'm blushing because I'm so excited. So yeah, I believe more Gen Zs are becoming more aware of the fact that higher education is BS, like school, and only worth it if you come from a middle class or higher class background, so your parents can support you or even help you pay your loan off. Plus, it's beyond accessible to educate yourself thoroughly. Like, you don't need it. If I want to know what kind of book to read on something, I can deadass. I don't need ChatGPT, mate. I can go on Pinterest and go, give me the best books on feminism. Anyway, so there's a lot of sounds going on, guys, and I'm so sorry. I'm like, I think I get gassy because I'm gassed, yo. So yeah, I believe more Gen Z's. Recipes, my mum. Yeah, recipes, my mum. A woman who suffered plenty in her life and was right, not right in a lot of ways, but was completely right about the scam of university in the UK. I wish I listened to you. I felt for that shit out of desperation and fear. I think I didn't write this down, but I'll never forget when they took all the kids in my year group in primary school, secondary, I can't remember. I think it was prime, really can't remember. And it was always really pushed down my throat that university had to be the way throughout school. They'd be like, yeah, you could do an apprenticeship, but you're not going to do that well. So you may as well go to uni. And they take all these lower class kids who haven't had people in their family go to university before, and they take you on these courses like Thinking Forward Birmingham, and they take you into school campus and they're just telling you how great it is and all these things. They're lying. I want to shake your head right now and trust your gut. Trust your gut. Is your guts to do it? Then that's true to you. It was never true to me, but I forced it. You know, it's like you're getting way too big for your boots, fam. I was never even too big for my boots. I was way too small. They never fit. I shouldn't have been there in the first place, brev. Anyway, so yeah, I fell for that shit out of desperation and fear, not because I was at peace. And that's another reason why Gen Z people are unemployed. No more being in a job because you were going to get treated like doo-doo, because you're desperate and have fear. As the whole time I was at university and from the age of 15, I worked, and I've worked in all I gotta stick to the program. Just came into my head how someone I knew at UAL was told, if you're a student, you shouldn't be working. And I recall her smiling and laughing like, but what if you got to work? Like I said, I did work. I worked in hospitality, retail. I have a career as a model, a producer, a casting director, and even interned at music magazines and radios. All those opportunities were from my own back. But I must say, and this is what Japan revealed to me socially, and yo, I ain't saying that them man haven't got problems too. They definitely have their problems too. But amongst the people, Japanese and foreigner alike, just this vibe that these people are attracted is that I felt recognised for who I am and not what I am. Like, I can't speak the language, so I'm like there, like making a sound like, watashi wa sta. Like, that's just me. I'm like, simi masen. And these people will whip out the Google Translate just to understand who I am. And again, I know they have, like, I think from what I've heard from Japanese people that they have quite a suppressive and kind of passive culture like we do here. Like, we don't ever say how we truly mean. We'll just like have all these kind of like politeness that sugarcoat everything. But one thing I will appreciate socially about the people there, it was like, yo, you want to know who I am. You don't want to know what you can obtain from me on the external or the what level. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that one in there. UK is sick. In all those jobs I have listed, and I can imagine any person can relate, I have faced sexism, mistreatment, power play, being fired over speaking up, rumours being spread about me, being silenced, ganged up on, ageism the most. Bear in mind, I did all that ultimately knowing that a slip of paper didn't guarantee me BS, and for a while I felt like a dum-dum about this, but I never got that degree. After 4 years, it really broke me. The degree and everything else had going on in my life, as they had previously. This country is not kind, too nuanced. This country is not forgiving. This country is lazy in the sense you will have people come into their institutions with suffering and pain, but will be like, no, let's stick to the program and let's see how we stick to the book. We need to stick to the book. Sticking to the book just lets people get away with murder. Bear in mind, I believe in what Madeline Argy said. She says, let's say you're 20 and that's when you become an adult, because your teens are your teens and your late teens are still your teens. So let's just say now, I'm 3 adult years old and this country makes me feel like a goddamn failure. Can't afford the places here. I feel like a failure. I'll be applying for these 600 jobs and I'm very qualified. 2 interviews. I'll be doing cover letters. I'll be spending hours on the websites. There's a deeper issue than what these people just discussed in the podcast. So yeah, the job market's absolutely blushed, guys. Like, it's an attitude problem, which I do say, man. I just keep getting excited and skipping ahead. So you get NEET, and I forgot to write down the definition. NEET is like people who are not in education or employment. Oh, I didn't write it down because I was going to put it on the screen. Because people are giving up, and you aren't even looking at how most people didn't get failed in You aren't even looking at how most people didn't get failed in their adulthood but a long time ago. You aren't looking at how poor the wages are, how expensive renting and even day-to-day cost is, how as a single person it makes it even more expensive, and how even if you get to the point where you are able to afford it, let's hope you don't get robbed, recklessly hit by a car, groomed, assaulted, stalked, abused, as that's what's happened to me, and I know many a person who go through that, to the point now it's normalised, and amongst some it's something even to banter about. I don't know what my future looks like, but I would say for a lot of people the blinkers are off. Life should not be unnecessary suffering, as it happens anyway. I'm not choosing it anymore. This has been a gloss over of my experience, not for the sake of pity, but I like to how we learn history so we do not repeat it. Let's do better. Even in your own individual life, lessen the avoidance and look inwards. Take accountability so we can truly bear witness for those around us. Last year, we had the second largest outflow of millionaires globally to China. trying to be big. We like this. We like this. What the hell? Does that not say something? Even your shareholders, stakeholders, and business owners are fed up. Oh, then look at all the redundancies and sacking, and it's not Gen Z just competing for these jobs with other young people. The job market is leaving those who are overly qualified to fight for those a cafe or restaurant jobs too. It's a conundrum. This place, whatever label we this place, this country, whatever label we're gonna like say that UK is or England is. We need more empathy, patience, understanding, and make systems from there. We mainly have an attitude of a selfish and disrespectful culture that needs to change. Adding on, this culture is undermining people's brilliance is not healthy either. I recall Chris Williamson said how what was great about America was the supporting culture of hyping everyone up. We need that. Like I said before, I'm venturing into the unknown, and the more corrupt society is, the more I realise it's me and God, and it always has been, and now I've got to make a path for myself. Thank you. And I think the other things, oh my God, I can't remember because that got me. Oh yeah, and ChatGPT saying this to me too, and it gets me bugging. It gets me totally bugging. Sorry, I don't know why I enjoy that. Like, oh my God, Lola. Okay, we can't be too emotional. Things get lost in emotive states. Like when I was watching the P. Diddy thing, right? And the jury was saying how when this woman was breaking down about her experience with P. Diddy, one of the people that worked closely with her, about how she got kidnapped because she knew Cassie was cheating on P. Diddy with Kid Cudi, that they couldn't take her seriously because she was so emotional. I can imagine that man has not shed one tear in his life, except when he found out everything was going to get taken away from him. We favour, particularly within Western society, we do not enjoy authenticity, we do not enjoy openness, we do not enjoy emotions, we celebrate narcissists constantly. And a part of me that's like the perfectionist goes, God damn, Ness, can you like record that where you're not burping, where you're not tripping on your words? This is just being human. It happens. Like, I wouldn't be tripping up on my words for like an audition, like if there's a casting director watching. But for me, this is my thing and this is my creation, and we are messy, and we deserve to live a life where we are accepted for that, and maybe not 24/7. There's time and place for things. This is my space that I've created for myself. But I do genuinely think, yeah, man, it's hard. It's hard. I'm a very qualified individual, and on my CV still says I got that goddamn good degree. Goddamn. But it's not kind. And I really do think, right, if we're going to accept and we're going to acknowledge how much things are changing, how much families are changing, how multiracial, I do not feel like this is home for me. As someone who's mixed here, it never has done, it never will. Do I even think I would feel differently if I was white? No, probably not. But I can only speak from my experience. I'm not making it a race thing, I'm just more of making it as like, this place wasn't ready for me. This place wasn't ready for all the broken homes. This place wasn't ready for all this place was so happy to invite people in with Windrush and other sort of immigration. How do I say? You know what I mean? Like immigration, accept the help of all of these people. But then that comes with all these different cultures clashing and creating new things, families getting broken, interracial relationships occurring when people aren't sure of who they are, people feeling like aliens here. I don't know, I haven't even like crazy theory just how like obviously again, I'm not saying this is exclusive to black people, I'm just saying this is something I've personally witnessed when I was living in Brixton, that all the homeless people I met were black, right, or light skin or of like black ethnicity, right. And obviously that's probably just due to them being from Brixton, living in Brixton, but there's just a part of me that has like a mad theory that has no like backing as much as like all the things I read out there, but just like I think some people weren't ever meant to be here, bruv. And I think I'm also one of those people. And I don't know what's next for me. I really don't. I love acting. I love creativity. I love all of the things that this country's been able to give me in that sense. But I don't enjoy how expensive it is to live. I don't enjoy how inaccessible things are. I don't enjoy how it puts everyone into this kind of like survivor mindset, so you can't truly connect with people, and people have these crazy walls up because they're scared of getting hurt from other people because they've got so much to protect in their own life, and I don't blame them. And I'm not saying, we're shit and everywhere else in the world's great. It's not what I'm saying by any means. Everywhere's got their own struggles, but the big conversation is about here right now, and it's about I'm a person here right now, and I'm a person who does not want to be here right now, and I feel like things just need to switch up on it. So yeah, that's what I've got to say today. Tangent as per. Let me have a sip and think if there's anything else. Yeah. And also a lot of Gen Zs are realising they can make a lot more money just doing other things or going away. I think I mentioned brain drain during that. People are going away. The amount of people I know that went to Dubai, to Thailand, to all these different places. Yeah. To the point as well, when you're living here, it's like my mates aren't even here. I really, really hope that things get better. Because I think things are getting really bad right now, and I think they're going to keep getting bad. And the more, and it's a bit different. Like, you look at other countries, and like they've got presidents and prime ministers that look like they're people. We still haven't got a government that looks like the people here. And I think until that truly changes, and not just having a couple of black people or people of colour or LGBT people in parliament, I'm talking about people in their souls, if that makes sense, who represent the public, because this is not a bourgeois Jew. You know what I mean? I can't even pronounce it, bro. That's how as a boy I am. We're not a bougie society. Got all these bougie people representing us. Just need some more normal people up there. But I don't know, guys. I don't have any of the answers. These are just my thoughts, and I appreciate them being said. I'm glad to have done this today. Y'all probably thinking, why do I look so good? I don't. I think, I was going to make a joke, but I had nice trousers on before, but I took the dog out for a walk and she got them dirty, so I was going to look a bit more like sexy. So yeah, I'm tired now, actually, after doing that. I've had a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys. Give your opinions too, because YOLO swag, these are just mine, and yeah. This is the weirdest way. It feels like, because I feel like I could never shut up about it. You gonna leave it so I can make my announcement? Yeah, I realised that I didn't touch on why I meant. Oh, she's vexed, y'all. Okay, so I'm back now to talk because the dog is settled, isn't it? Love you. Basically, yeah. So why I mentioned pot of paper, etc., was just because I think I read once in I believe a Dazed article about Parsalu explaining how what happens when you live in poverty and it ultimately turns you to violence, and how I believe that's true, and I believe that's something of that I would maybe like to talk about in another episode or something. But I really do feel like that's also another perspective that we need to look at when we look at the unemployed and the people who feel failed within our society. It's those who are also looking for violence and for gangs and drug consumption and turn to addiction and excess in sex and etc. Why those people are going to those things. And it's like, look, at the end of the day, I know it's asking a lot to try and rehabilitate people's homes, but it's about making people's external living a bit easier, so, or at least smoother, so that they can go internally and heal and then do better for their homes. Because when I say that homes are becoming more broken, homes are becoming more interracial, homes are becoming homes that have never existed before, and that's the level of nuance we're living in. And I have experienced that within my own experience, and people who have been around me at close proximity would have just had that by proximity. Yeah, we need some niceness, but I feel like I'm just gonna waffle. I'm at the point where
I've read this book called How Thinking, The Practice of Not Thinking, or The Art of Not Thinking. I'm butchering that title, but yeah, How Thinking Breeds Ignorance, and I feel like I'm getting to that point. So thank you guys, and this is Coco. Do you want to say goodbye? Oh, nice goodbye. Oh yeah, it's a very nice. You want to give it another kiss? No. Alright, bye guys.
Please let it go and give it time. I swear life is a good time. Please let it go, it'll be okay soon. Please let it go, it'll be okay soon. Please let go, 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 please let